What you'll need to update the firmware is a Phillips head screwdriver or a drill, your SCU20 programming cable, and some type of Windows PC. The first thing you want to do is go to Yaesu.com, then click on the DR1X, and then go to the Files section, and then pick the firmware that you need for your repeater. I recommend downloading the instructions and putting them up on the screen so you can view them at the same time as you're doing the update. The first thing you will do is remove the 15 screws from the top of the repeater. I recommend using a drill. It's also a good idea to have some kind of dish to hold all the screws so you don't lose them. You're then going to find the receive unit or the RX unit, and you're going to slide the firmware writing switch to the boot position. This would be sliding it to the rear of the repeater. I use just a little ink pen that's plastic. I would not recommend using any kind of metal. Your next step would be to connect the SCU20 PC connection cable to the ACC jack on the back of the repeater. Your first step would be to turn the DR1X on. You'll hear the cooling fan come on, but nothing will appear on the screen. You're going to open up the DR1X main version of the zip file on your computer. And you're going to then open up the executable file or the .exe file. In this case, it's called the DR1X main VR100M exp.exe. You're going to follow your instructions on the screen. Here you'll need to know the COM port in which the SCU20 is connected. If you don't know what that is, you'll go to the device manager in your Windows operating system. After the installation completes, you'll turn the power off. Then you'll use that pen again and push the firmware writing switch back to the forward position. Now you'll turn on the DR1X. Then you'll touch setup, and then you'll be able to see what firmware version that your repeater is currently running. If you are successful, it will show the version in which you intended to install. Next, we'll go over how to install the DSP firmware. You'll touch and hold the DR1X screen while turning it on. Press the setup switch button. You'll see on your screen DSP and then arrows pointing to COM. Now, in that same folder where you found your firmware, you'll open up the PC tool zip file. Then you'll open up the executable of that file inside that folder. Select the same COM port. It should be the same one you just used, and in this case, COM port number 9. You'll press the OK button, and then after that completes, you'll press OK. Now you'll turn the power off, disconnect the programming cable, replace the cover, and make sure you put all 15 screws back in. And this completes the firmware installation process.